if you could talk to young Sabrina, just starting her comedy jazz business, what would you like her to hold on to? What would you like for her to take to heart?
I feel like I still have trouble following this advice as myself, like my present self now, but I think that it's something that I'm always reminding myself and like taking a step back with, is like not comparing yourself to other people. Do not compare. Don't look at other people's stuff if it's gonna like, if it incites like a weird feeling inside of you that isn't excited for the person posting it, then maybe just like avoid and focus on what you're doing.
Jokes in the gym, jokes in the gym, not jokes in the gym. Jokes in the gym, jokes in the gym. With Rudy Tibersi.
What is up, my friends? I'm so happy you're here right now. It's such a good day for you to be here. Such a good time for us to be anywhere. Think about it. We're here now. And yesterday we were back there then. But now we're in this other spot that's later. How cool is that? How very cool is that? I'm so... yeah. It's been a weird day, I guess. And so I'm feeling some feelings today, and that's okay. I think sometimes you get sidetracked by your emotions, or at least I do. I know I do. And that's all right. It's part of me. It's part of who I am. And I don't always give my emotions the space that they need, because I have found in my life that a lot of people think my emotions take up a lot of space, and it has been hard for them to interact with them. And so I'm working to allow myself to be whatever it is, and do so in a way that is joyful and thankful and gracious and generous to interact with other people, because I want to feel how I feel, and I want others to feel how they feel. And however that amalgamation of feelings comes together is a beautiful thing. And it can be volatile and inflammatory and destructive at times too, in addition to beautiful and just creative and joyful and loving. And so I think today's conversation, this episode's conversation, with one of my dear friends, Sabrina. Oh my gosh, I love this conversation. That's where I should have started, not rambling about my feelings, but there's that judgment coming out again. And that's not what I want to do. What I want to do is share the joy that Sabrina and I were able to find in a conversation. And it was such a beautiful thing. We've been friends for 6-7 years, something like that, since I moved back to Oregon, and since she started comedy. And so it's been such a fun friendship to have over these past few years. And I've seen her move from Eugene to Portland to LA, and we get into all of that. And so it's really fun. Like, we are laughing from the start, and it's funny. And I think you'll laugh too, because it's funny. And when you want to laugh, you can laugh. So, press pause on the anxiety button and play on the chill pill. Can you play a chill pill? Is that a possibility? Either way, I'm really excited to share this episode, because I love Sabrina, and I love our time we get to spend together. And the fact that she's now in a different state saddens me a little, but I'm also really proud of her and excited for her for what she's attempting to do, and I'm hopeful for what living in LA can do for her. And it sounds like already she's getting some clarity on things that she wants to have in her life, and we get to explore that a bit in the conversation. And it's super cool, I feel super fortunate that people feel comfortable sharing things with me, and I'm stoked to get to share it with you. So I hope you appreciate that too. And today, I want to take a moment to shout out my non-existent sponsor, Terry's Topless Taquitos. Have you ever wanted taquito and to be topless? Go to Terry's. They've got topless taquitos, and Terry makes them like no other. So tear off your tops and get those taquitos to Terry's Topless Taquitos. I almost did it. That was almost perfect copy, Terry's Topless Taquitos. But you screwed it up at the end, Rudolph. Come on, man. Oh, yeah. No, this is a fun intro. I went all over the place. You can't really see these intros. Maybe I'll post something of it somewhere. But I like how perfectly messy my space looks right now. Oh, gosh. I do need to do some work in here. That's something I want to do, not just need to do. I want to be cleaner. I want it to be a friendlier space, but I look like a maniac. It's the playoffs, y'all. I blame the playoffs. It's the NBA playoffs. And so I might be a little looser with some of the responsibilities around the house. But this is my 19th episode of Jokes and the Gym, and I've had 19 wonderful conversations with people, and I can't wait to keep having more wonderful conversations with people, because this has been such a wonderful experience with so many friends that I've been able to deepen relationships. Oh man, and this weekend was another weekend of deepening relationships. Tom Rhodes was in town. I got to do his podcast. Got to do shows with him and Seth and Andy Andrist and Nathan Hart and so many other good friends around town and in Springfield. And I got to show a friend that I've known for many years a place that I care about. And so that was super fun. So I'm excited to bring some of that goodness into the week. And I hope that you find some ways to bring goodness into your week, to your day, to the people around you. I hope that when you have a choice between quick, angry, flippant, curt, or joyful, thoughtful, loving, generous, considerate, you choose the one that feels better. And whatever. I don't know. I hope we think about our actions. That's all I hope. That's what I hope. I hope we think about our actions in a way that is productive and joyful and fun and connective. That's what I'm looking for. Avenues of connection. And I thank you for taking a little stroll down this avenue of connection with my wonderful, beautiful, hot, single, hilarious friend, Sabrina Contreras.
Jokes in the gym, jokes in the gym, not jokes in the gym. Jokes in the gym, jokes in the gym. With Rudy Tibersi.
Whoa, 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 whoa! What is up? 7 people who listen to my podcast.
All in Eugene.
Yeah, all a bunch of Eugenians and 2 Koreans. That's my demo.
Yay! Hey.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for stopping by Jokes in the Gym. I'm your host, Rudy Tibersi. I'm stoked to have my guest here today. She's a good friend of mine. She's a hottie. She's a comedian. She's done the comedy here in Eugene, in Portland. She's recently made the move to LA. I'm excited to dig into that with her. Give it up for my good friend, the wonderful, the single, Sabrina Contreras.
Yeah. Pew, 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 pew.
You asked me to say that, right?
I did. I asked her. Yeah, I said, hey, tell him I'm hot. Tell him I'm single. Like not a 7-Eleven taquito.
That is I would love to see you in a taquito dress. Can you find a dress?
I think I have one. A taquito or a cigar. I don't know.
Yeah. I got to let my taquitos out too sometimes,
Everyone should.
Right?
When the weather gets nice.
Yeah, get the taquitos out. I love a woman with a nice set of taquitos.
Who doesn't? Right? I ate taquitos out of a cup last night. I put them in a glass cup. It is better to me than a plate. I don't know why. It's easier.
They fit better in a cup. On a plate, they're rolling around. They're all crazy.
Yeah, we can't be doing that.
Do you have do you just squirt a sauce in the bottom so they come with dips already?
I did try.
What was the sauce?
There was no sauce. It was dry.
Oh, it was, you did it dry. I thought you said I did try. No, okay,
No,
yeah.
I did it dry.
Just the dried taquitos,
Which
just
usually-
raw dogging taquitos.
Usually I don't. Usually I'm very big on a sauce, but I had just woken up from a pretty long nap, maybe like a 2-hour nap, and I was just hungry, so I threw it in the air fryer and
Got to get those taquitos in, you know.
Get those taquitos in
Oh,
there.
I woke up, I'm groggy. Gotta have my taquitos.
What's in this freezer? Oh yes, taquitos.
Yeah, I got a cup too. An air fryer, a cup, and a freezer. That's how you meal yourself.
So yeah, this is about health.
Yeah. Taquitos. Well, the air fryers are good. I hear the air fryer's dope. Is it?
Air fryers, apparently you can do everything and anything that you want to in the air fryer. People make like fish in the air fryer.
Okay. How is it just air in it?
I guess. I don't really know what's going on in there.
You close the door and something happens? Is there a door involved?
It's sort of like an Easy Bake Oven. It reminds me very much of Easy Bake Oven.
For adults.
But for real. For real this time.
Did you have an Easy Bake when you were growing up?
Oh, did I? Oh, did I ever? That was probably like my favorite gift when I was little. Like I was so stoked on my Easy Bake Oven.
It's crazy. Like, the amount of power that toy companies will give children. We got Easy Bake Ovens. We got Power Wheels. You see a Power Wheel? Pow, pow, Power Wheels. Those things are just like adult machines. And here, have at it, 6-year-old Grayson.
Yeah. Don't get in trouble.
I got a ticket, Mom.
Yeah, that is so crazy. Like, how do you... And then, yeah, that's probably why my brother was, like, so obsessed with driving.
Because he had a Power Wheels.
Yeah, well, the neighbor, we didn't have that. We didn't have Power Wheel money.
No.
we had
to
go borrow the neighbor's Power Wheel.
You hijacked the P-dubs. Yeah. I'm hot wiring the Hot Wheels.
Yeah, exactly.
And you just push a button. It starts. It doesn't even need a key.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. No, it's so good to see you. How is LA treating you? You've been there for how long now? Jeez Louise, you're moving and shaking. I admire that.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I know. I realized that, holy moly, it is almost June already. I've been here since December is when I moved.
Okay.
So I've been here for a few months. Yeah, I mean, it's been something.
Yeah. I bet.
It's definitely been an adjustment, a culture shock that I didn't really expect.
Huh. Can you tell me like what you were expecting versus what you've kind of run into?
Yeah, well, okay, so I grew up in California. Like my roots are here.
Yeah.
I grew up was born, spent like the first 10 years of my life here in Southern California in a little town called Yucaipa.
Yucaipa. That sounds like an insult.
I know. It's like, what did you just call me?
Yucaipa. It's like, ugh. You can't say that. Yeah. It's too.
People call it like the yuck. Like the yuck.
Yuck.
But anyway, so yeah, I grew up there, and then I spent like my teens and into my early 20s in San Jose, which I know is different than LA. Mm-hmm. But I guess I just had it in my head like, oh, I know California. Like I was there. I grew up there.
Yeah.
I learned to drive there.
I'm a Californian.
And then coming here, I realized how much I had really just acclimated and really love and appreciate so much more Oregon, culture, like the Pacific Northwest culture of just like chilling, like people are like, if you pass someone on the street, you can be like,
What's
hey, you could be like, oh, cool shoes, and people will be like, oh, thank you so much, I got them in
an estate sale.
Yeah, exactly. And here people are not, you know what I felt like? Have you ever seen Requiem for a Dream?
Yeah, that sticks with you.
It does. It definitely does. So like the lady at the very end when she's like, I'm gonna be on television, and she's she's like wearing that red dress, and she's like walking up and down the street, and everyone's just like not even really paying attention to her.
Yeah.
That's what I felt like for the first like month and a half that I was here. Like I was just the crazy like pigeon lady that was talking to everybody.
Yeah, Oregon gives you something, and I'm not sure if it's good for the rest of the world.
Yeah, it's like even at the grocery store, I'll like, you know, you get up there and I have my purse, so I get my purse, I throw it up on the little like table like counter thing, and then I'm like, yeah, so how's your day? Getting out my stuff. It's just I take so long to do anything, and I just want to like chat and like, and people are like, yeah, that'll be $16.75. Get the fuck out of here. Like, yeah, I don't give a shit that you couldn't find your fucking shoe earlier.
There's 10 million people here. Boo.
Yeah. So just like stuff like that has been, it's just been like, oh wow. Yeah, I'm not there anymore. And yeah, I guess I don't know what I was thinking. I'm a Pisces moon, so I'm like, well, everything's going to be great when I go.
What does Pisces moon mean?
It means that like, so your moon sign is connected to your like insides, like your emotions and like how you process emotions. And it's connected to like water. So think water, like, ooh.
Fluid,
moving,
ethereal.
Sometimes it's chaotic. Sometimes it's crazy. And then Pisces is a water sign. It's associated with like dreaminess and like romanticizing. A lot of Pisces placements. If you have a lot of Pisces placements or like strong Pisces placements, you have I would say a higher likelihood of like developing addictions to like substances, because just very like escapey. So I like to like romanticize and like idealize things and like, oh, it's gonna be great.
Making a move to LA.
It'll be, everyone's gonna know who I am.
Get your red dress out. You come out just slurping taquitos.
I'm really painting a picture of myself here.
It's great. I love it. I mean, well, this is what we do. This is one of the reasons I'm so excited to chat with you, because all we do is just laugh.
Yeah. Leo's in a pod.
Yeah, right? Yeah, as soon as we met, you were like, Leo. Leo.
Yeah, I feel it.
I love it.
You're so great, and you're always so smiley. I feel like Leos are always so like, sort of like childlike in essence, and I love that.
Yeah, I'm very dumb. Hella naive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's behind that dumpster? Yeah, I'll get it for you.
Oh no, I've got new friends.
Yeah.
Who's asking you to go behind dumpsters?
No one. But you know, maybe someday.
Yeah, I mean that's more of an Oregon thing.
Yeah.
What what brought you to Oregon? Because we met when you were in Eugene. Were you doing comedy when we had met in like 2018?
That was I was fresh. I started doing comedy in November of 2018. It was like very early November. Yeah, actually you were like the first. I remember going to gosh, was it Blair Alley? I was dressed up like Velma.
Okay.
And that was like one of the first times that I had even gone out to comedy, and I was like interested in doing it, and thought, oh, I'll just like go and see kind of what open mics are about. And then yeah, it was either at Blair Alley or it was at Lucky's, and you like called me, not in a bad way, but like called me out and like, they're like, oh, Velma. So you were like one of the first comics that I was like, oh, wow, this is so cool.
Yeah. I love it. No, I mean, from the start, it was always just love. It was always just a fun, silly, happy connection. And it was like we could give each other shit from the start and just be silly, like in a way that I don't get to be with a lot of other friends, you know?
Yeah.
It's so fun. Yeah.
It is a really fun connection.
Yeah, those Leos tie their hair together and it just stays entangled.
Yeah, we're like a rope.
Yeah, it's like, oh, this hurts, but I like it. No, stay there.
We maybe go the other way.
Yeah. And then for you, was it as far as comedy, was it like, oh, you loved it, you've just dove in from the start, or was it a slow burn? You seem like you're ready to jump in.
Yeah, it was definitely like really like a love at first sight kind of thing. Like it felt like immediately after I did it, I sort of just like latched into place, really. It was something that I knew that that I was that was fun to do, and at the time I didn't realize too that it was like a combination of every single thing that I've ever wanted to do, which is like, you know, I went to school for English, which is what brought me to Eugene, by the way, was going to U of O. Gotcha. But yeah, like writing stories and loving to laugh has been my favorite thing in the entire world since as long as I can remember.
Yeah.
And being in front of people and having people's attention on me.
Oh, hi. Oh, hi there. Hi, everyone. I didn't see you. Thanks for coming by.
Yeah. I had an ex tell me, like, you love male attention. You just love male attention. And it's like, yeah, dude, obviously, like, I love any attention. I do comedy.
Right? It's like, we don't do this because we're totally healthy.
I know.
It's not like for purely healthy people.
Not at all.
And that's why honestly I wanted to start kind of this podcast, is because it's like, okay, well, how do you find that while you're doing this crazy thing all the time? It's not easy.
I definitely agree. And I feel like, I mean, because you knew me, like we were talking about when I very first started doing comedy. And I feel like, even then was such a different, like, past me, because I like drank a lot, and not even like drank a lot, but like had an alcohol problem. and like blacked out a lot, you know?
It wasn't good. It didn't help.
You get it. And and so after I stopped drinking, it kind of like just, it took me on this path of like really looking at myself and like looking on the inside, and it starts to kind of like trip me out that you see people that like that aren't necessarily trying to like improve themselves, or like maybe not even have the awareness that like something is needing to be improved within themselves. And I think that especially in like in a community or like a profession or whatever as comedy, or any like art form, musician, whatever, if you're not like doing that inner work, it can get really like ego driven and like ego convoluted, and it gets really sticky and heavy also, and dark.
There's a lot that can go wrong when someone jumps into comedy because of expectations and because of the reality of it. It's not for someone who is this wishy-washy type, really. It's for people who are ready to dig into something for a long period of time, because it takes a while to kind of get your feet under you.
Yeah, I think and like once I realized too that I've had so many moments where I've been like, yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
I got it all fucking figured out. And then like, you know, something will happen where I'm just completely kicked on my ass and I'm like, oh, whoops. That's what I get for thinking that I like have the answers at the ripe age of 31.
Yeah. Well, I think what those moments are, those are little aha moments, right? They're stepping stones on your journey. When you think you have something figured out, you might have one or two things figured out, but then you'll quickly learn that it's so much more than whatever it is you thought you needed at that point.
It's like an iceberg. Yeah.
Yeah. You're just going to die from it.
Yeah. You're just going to die.
Like an iceberg. That's what they do. There's too many of them, you'll run into them. If there's not enough, the earth gets too hot.
And then flowers are forming in Antarctica.
What? Really? Is that where your interview was? Yeah. At the flower shop?
It was. I flew down to Antarctica.
To AAA.
No. It was on Pico Boulevard.
Pico de Gallo.
Pico de Gallo.
Yeah. How'd it go? You had an interview yesterday, right? You're in the job search. 99% of comedians need to have a day job, right? You know, so it's like, well, it's the hardest thing to do. This is something that I've learned in everything, and comedy's no exception. Just because you're good enough to do a job doesn't mean you'll get that job. It doesn't mean you'll get the chance to do it. So savor every moment that you get a chance to.
I think that is very beautifully said. And yeah, I 100% agree with you because, yeah, I mean, I feel like life is just full of so many unexpected surprises, both good and bad. And you really never know when the good ones are going to pop up. And yeah, so 100% like savor what you got when you got it, because
and you never know what will bring you that unexpected joy. You never know what you'll dip your toes into, and then you'll take a whole mud bath in it. You're like, oh, I really like this.
That's very true. Honestly, that's what kind of prompted this, like, I guess, new kind of desire to work with flowers, because that's what I interviewed for, was the flower shop. And it was like last year, probably around this time actually, of me realizing that that I wanted to be creative outside of comedy, because I feel like I was getting so like comedy, stand up, and specifically stand up, like sucking the dick of the stand up. You know what I mean? It's like, and it gets kind of like, okay, like, you know I have these ideas in my head and these like other creative sparks. Let me kind of play with that and see what else. And then I started like just making little bouquets out of my dried flowers. And then that developed into like making flower crowns. And then now I'm like, yeah, I think I want to like, just work with flowers. And who knows, maybe I'll have my own flower shop.
That would be so cool.
And
you have a flower shop.
That would be so cool. And I've already thought of the name Persephone's Garden.
Who's Persephone?
She is the right-hand man of Hades. They love each other. And
yeah.
Persephone, she actually is a dual goddess. So she's queen of the underworld with Hades.
Love it.
And she's also goddess of spring.
Oh.
So the bitch gets to hang out
all in the good spot.
In the good space when it's good. And then she goes down with her hot babe Hades.
With her netherworldly beau.
And they get to freaking hang
Get
out.
nasty at the dead.
They just get to hang out.
They just hang out? Hey, you want to go look at some corpses? You want to go torture
She's like,
somebody?
yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
I don't know if Hades tortures. He probably does.
Good. I mean, they're king and queen of the netherworld. They got to do something nasty down there. You don't get that kind of job without... Come on. They're like the Jeff Bezos and Bill Gates down there. I wonder if is Bill Gates... Bill Gates is dead. So she probably knows Bill Gates. He's got to be down there.
Bill Gates is dead?
I think so. Right. Yeah, Bill Gates died. Was it Bill Gates or Steve Jobs? Am I confusing the two?
I think that I know Steve Jobs is dead. I would be very surprised, not sad, if Bill Gates was dead.
Okay. I think it's Jobs. Yeah, I think it's Jobs. I think that's what it is. I don't pay attention to all the billionaires. Not like I should.
No. That is bad for my mental health.
Oh my gosh. Money. Money is bad for my mental health. I'm trying though.
Bad.
Yeah. I saw a thing the other day that the difference between rich people and poor people is that rich people use every one of their dollars to make them more dollars. They're like little soldiers that go out there and make you more dollars. And I'm like, where do I put $20 to make me more? Okay, I have 20 right here. What do I do with it to make it a little $20 soldier?
You were born into the wrong family.
Yeah, right? Our bloodline is ending. I think I'm...
It's over after this.
Yeah, it's done. Dude, and if you had a flower shop, you could do shows in there. You could, like, once it closes down at night, you could have the killerest room.
It is honestly more and more appealing because that's the other thing about LA that's a little bit shocking too, is just sort of seeing how comedy works down here. And it feels like evil. It feels dark. Like, well, it feels...
You want to be married to Hades, so it's a perfect fit.
It's like, I don't know. It feels very like it's Holly weird. And all these people seem like they're just all being controlled. And it just feels like so like...
The juice isn't in it, right?
Yeah. And so, yeah, it's kind of like brought this like thought of like, do I want to be a famous comedian? Is that something that I am going after? Or am I like, yeah, like, do I want to have a flower shop and do comedy shows out of it?
Yeah, totally. I mean, that sounds amazing, right? It's like, I think I'm trying to adjust my relationship with comedy. Like, yes, I would love to be a touring headlining comedian. Occasionally I get the chance to do 45-minute shows and sets, and I feel comfortable and fun and happy up there. But that's like once a quarter, few times a quarter kind of a deal, you know? And it's like, I just have to enjoy that and be able to live a life otherwise. Like, I need to be able to have energy and work out and spend time with my friends and pet my cats on the lawn. Like, I want to do that stuff in addition to comedy. I love comedy. I'm so grateful for comedy, the places it's taken me. The people and the relationships that I've developed through it are beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And so much of the time, those relationships are enhanced not just through comedy,
Yeah.
Through other outlets as well, through the shared interests I have with other comedians, through treating them like human beings, through asking about their day or their health. It's like, these things are interesting to me. I love talking about comedy, obviously. I love comedy. I love jokes. I love putting a set together. I love figuring it all out. And then
Yes.
getting to try, it's addictive. Obviously, you have a new joke idea, you try it, it gets laughs for the first time, you're just like jizzing in your pants. It's
Yeah.
the best.
Yeah.
It's so like,
They liked it. They liked it.
And it's crazy, and it's the thing that most people are scared of, and it doesn't have to be everything. And so I'm just trying to figure out how to find that balance,
Yeah.
So like for you, what are the things you've been doing in LA or wherever to help find that balance, to like get to focus on your health or to get outside? Like, what are the things that you've found have been helpful since moving to LA?
That was a beautiful transition, Rudy.
Oh, thanks. Look at that. I try to listen and then guide.
Well, first couple of months, I spent a lot of inside time,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of crying. It was good though. It felt releasing. And then since then,
Crying is good.
I've been going out to parks, different parks.
Mm-hmm.
I've found a few. I found one that I really, really like, and I feel like that's kind of like my park.
Mm-hmm.
And you know
that.
what I really like to do there is just go with my headphones and set up my little blanket and just dance.
Oh, yeah, girl. I'm about it.
I love it. I shake ass.
Yeah.
And
get those
the
taquitos out.
Dogs holler at my taquitos.
The dogs.
And yeah, so that's really fun. I have also, I think because of the transition, my psoriasis, I have psoriasis, and it's been like, I got a little bit angry, and it felt, it was just like, hey, I'm here, remember?
Yeah. Hi, I exist. I'm part of your body sometimes.
Trying to help.
Well, okay, how is it trying to help? What is it trying to do for you?
Well, it's basically a reaction from my autoimmune system.
Mm-hmm.
And because I'm like stressed out, and I also like smoke cigarettes like a motherfucker, and just kind of, just maybe not drinking enough water as well,
Right.
all these things, my autoimmune system is like, oh my God, there's something going on. There's something going on with her. What should we do? And then they're all like, oh, well, let's just make some more skin for her. That'll make her feel so much better.
She has more skin.
That's all she needs. And so
what helpful idiots.
I know, they're like, we got you, girl.
Yeah. Itch, scratch, flake.
Let's make her look like a lizard. She'll be happy then.
This will help the transition to a new place. All her new friends in LA want lizard people nearby.
Yeah, so they're trying to help, but so I was thinking, I need to go to the dermatologist and they give like this nasty, disgusting steroid cream. Not a fan, but it works. But I did a little research.
Good.
And saw if you have a beach nearby, go to it. Just be in the water, And swear to God, Rudy, I went like maybe 3 times last week, and my skin is so much clearer.
Oh,
some
I
of it
love
is
this.
gone.
Whoa, some of your skin's gone.
Some of my skin fully gone. No, that's all right. The extra.
Yeah, the extras.
But so yeah, so it's like free medicine.
That's so cool. Nature is
Yeah.
freaking medicine. It really is. I mean, sometimes when you're depressed or whatever, when you're down and then you spend like a week in the sun, you're like, holy shit, why wasn't I doing this the whole time?
That's exactly how I feel about the beach right
Yeah.
now. So that's kind of like my new obsession. And I do, I really like to walk. You know, it's funny. I have like I used to do like jogging a lot before I did comedy.
Mhm.
And then before I got into jogging, I was really into yoga.
Hmm.
So I used to do like things physically, but then I feel like I kind of traded all of that for comedy. But
Mm.
now I do like go walk and stuff.
Mhm.
And so at the
Mhm.
beach, I like to walk at the beach.
Perfect. Yeah. I mean, that's a great place to walk. And you're on sand and it's doing all these little cool things for your legs and joints and bones.
And it hurts sometimes. I'm like, wow.
Ouchie.
Ow.
Can you make like a Baywatch style intro of you at the beach one of these days? Just like slow-mo in the
Yes.
water, just like eating a taquito.
Yeah. And then at the end, I go,
I would love it. I don't know why you don't have a TV show already. I think you're way more interesting than everyone in LA. You're super cool and fun and you care and you're there and you're doing it. And I don't know. I just don't get how it works. You said it's evil. You said it feels kind of evil down there and it's like
it feels like, yeah, it feels like there's this looming like energy. And I thought that I was kind of just like tripping, maybe being a little bit like, oh, like like conspiracy theorists or whatever. But the amount of people that have said the same thing, I feel very like validated in my assessment, because it is like people come here to like get famous, and then a lot of them just die or like just have like weird lives and weird things that happen. You know what I mean? Like everyone has a friend that has a story or whatever.
Right. Like there's Joe the van guy or whatever.
There's Joe the van guy. He came out here. He was the best tambourine player there was.
He came to LA in the van and to tambourine, and we didn't see him after those first 6 months.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it is like a weird kind of feeling.
People are moving away from it, you know, because that's the thing. It's like once you start your career, because that's what it is, right? It's a stepping stone. It's the place to go to try to jumpstart a career. Because here in Eugene, I didn't come to Eugene to be a comedian. I'm a comedian who came to Eugene. And so it's like you have to do the stuff yourself. You have to start the gears. You have to build the systems. You have to do all that in these other places. And that's what I'm used to. I would love to be able to focus on comedy, but it doesn't sound like you're able to just like focus on comedy even when you're down there.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of even like stuff like driving, like before. So before I went to Oregon and I lived in California, I would always say like, oh, I love the rain. Oh, the rain is actually my favorite. The rain is so cute.
Yeah.
And then going to Oregon, I was like, Jesus Christ, like, does it stop? And it really doesn't. It like doesn't stop.
It's raining now.
Yeah, and here before coming here, I was like, I love driving. Driving is like my therapy. I get to think. And now I'm like, actually, I would rather stick a pine cone freaking in my nose than be in a car.
Oh no. Yeah,
So,
that's
like,
all you hear.
yeah, and everyone talks about it. It's not even like, oh, it's just tourists that talk about it, or like,
Mhm.
because I was like, I don't want to be hack and like
Yeah.
talk about the driving, but everyone does because
sure.
it's like such a thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, like stuff like that is really exhausting, and it's like
Exhaust.
like going from mic to mic. I'm not doing all of that. I'm so sorry. I'm doing one mic and then I'm gonna go home.
Yeah. What is an average drive time between mics? 45 minutes, something like this?
You know, honestly, yeah, it somewhere that takes you 20 minutes to go to, which is pretty, like, I would say I live within like 15 to 20 minutes of like everything.
Okay.
But during, like, depending on what time it is, it's an hour.
Mm-hmm. That's insane.
And I'm like, oh my God. I did not anticipate that.
I want to be dancing in a park.
I want to be dancing with the dogs.
With my dogs, Curtis. Curtis and Dave.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, right? That's what you're in for when you move, when you jump off, when you take the leap. That's what you did.
Yeah.
You took the leap. You don't know what it's going to be, but you do it anyways.
Yeah.
And that's admirable.
Yeah, thank you, Rudy.
Yeah.
I think that now too it is at a point, like, the last couple weeks I've been feeling a lot more just like settled, and like coming around my neighborhood. I'm like, oh, I'm home. I'm gonna be in my apartment soon. It doesn't feel as like as foreign and like scary anymore.
That's so good.
Which is good, yeah.
Yeah, I love that. So moving forward in LA, what are you working on, or what are your goals? Do you have like some things you want to accomplish or do, or like, do you have stuff that you're taking steps towards at the moment?
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously, like we talked about a little bit earlier, of like getting a day job.
Right.
Is
totally. It's important.
Definitely a goal.
Mm-hmm.
But besides that, like more fun than that, I wanted, when I came out here, one of my goals was to find like-minded creative people to do like sketches. That's something that I have been really curious about for the last like year and a half or so, and I feel like I just really want to find like a collaborator that I work well with to kind of like just get started, because I get really overwhelmed and I like don't know anything about it, or like where to start, or like kind of like camping. It's like, hey, did you bring the spatula? It's like, I didn't know.
Why do we need a spatula in the woods?
Yeah. So like stuff like that. And so I'm hoping to find some people, and I have found a couple of people that I'm like, I think that this would like vibe, and we have the same kind of sense of humor, which is cool.
Yeah.
And also finding friends outside of comedy, I think is a big goal of mine.
Yeah.
Which again, I have found like one or two people that I like connect with, which is good.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. Finding people to, be a part of a community with is huge, especially in a new place.
Community, I think, that's been a topic that's been coming up in my therapy sessions a lot. Community and connection, they're very important to me.
Yeah, legit. That's legit, and it's hard, because you have this idea that you're going to make it organically, and that's not always how it goes.
Yeah, and
you got to put in work. Trying to make friends, yuck.
And also, like, I am so sorry, but I don't like a lot of people. Like, I'm not just like willy-nilly, like, be my friend.
Yeah.
I'm like, let's see about you.
Yeah. Such a cat. Such
Yeah.
a cat.
You got one first impression.
Yeah, that's why you'd like my cat, my girl. She stopped by. She likes me and like 2 other people.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, do you follow or know Steph Tolev?
Oh, I love
Of
Steph
course you. Yeah, she is like top of your tier of comedy. You know what I like?
Yes.
She's like the Queen Sabrine side. You know, like very lots of fun, juicy woman.
Yeah, woman. She's like a suck my dick kind of woman.
Absolutely.
I
Yeah.
love that.
Oh my god, she and her boyfriend have started doing sketches to watch one of her latest, the one of them in like the hardware store of it's
Stop.
so funny. It's
No.
just her making double entendres about hardware store stuff with her boyfriend, and he's like, oh.
No, I love, yeah, that's exactly the kind of stuff I want to do. Just very silly, fun. I will definitely look that up because I haven't seen any of those sketches, but
Yeah.
thank you for letting me know.
Yeah, and it's been so because she has been on that a similar journey to like find success and find a partner and stuff, and just watching from online has been super interesting. She and I actually went on a Tinder date in Eugene years ago. Yeah, she and Deborah D. Giovanni did a show at Lucky's, and then we matched on Tinder and went out and hung out at Blair Alley and stuff like that. So it was pretty cool. I think I shook her hand in my car, and she was like, "Did you shake my hand, you fucking psycho?"
That is so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually Instagram messaged her if I could open for her at Helium.
Hell
and
yeah.
I don't think she read it.
Yeah, no, I asked her to be on the podcast. I don't think she's read it. Well, but that's what happens, you know, after a while. Like, it's just one of those things. You got to take those shots. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know when I'm overstepping sometimes. That's me and my dumb brain. And I'm like, I'd rather just ask. It's like, I've got their phone number, or I've got we met twice, or whatever.
Yeah.
Just try. Because the worst that
totally.
could happen is that they'd besmirch your name and you'll never work again.
Yeah. They're like, that guy, awful.
No, he has the worst handshake.
No.
Yuck.
Yeah. I know. Yeah, one day, you know, but that's cool.
How are you feeling as a comedian? How do you feel like that's going as like your comedy growth?
I feel like it's always coming and going.
Mm-hmm.
As far as if I feel like I'm progressing or you know, am as funny as I want to be, which
you never should be.
Yeah,
You
no,
know
it's
what I
always
mean?
it's always like no.
Yeah. No, my skills have not met my taste. Is how I put it. My skills are down here and my taste is up here.
Yeah,
And
totally.
I want to get to my taste. I want to be as good as comedians I like.
Yeah, 100%. But I guess kind of like speaking on that, when I very first got here, I did go to an open mic maybe like 2 weeks after I'd gotten here.
Mm-hmm.
And I went to 3 open mics, ate shit. Whoa.
Yeah.
Ate shit. Like
SHIT.
SH. Yeah, it was so bad. And it was like one of those bombs where it's packed with comics and their eyes are looking right at me. They're all looking at me and they're all just like,
who's this?
It was like, who is this bitch? And my ass went up there just like full, like, who's getting their comedy dick sucked tonight? Oh, like full in, like commit.
Yeah. Good.
and I scared them. It's been like one room particularly was like, I was like, I am never doing this again. Yeah. I will never touch a microphone again. And so that lasted for about a month and a half of not doing comedy, because I was sort of like, it was very much like an imposter syndrome moment of like, did I actually come down here thinking that I'm funny and I'm not at all?
That sucks.
So it was really scary. And honestly, yeah, it was like really scary. And I thought for a second that I wasn't going to do comedy anymore. And then I don't remember. Oh, you know what? It was the Boomtown Brewery mic that's on Mondays. And I found it just on one of the websites here. And I went and had a super fun. Your voice is always in my head when I'm feeling like that. I'm like, just have fun.
Yeah.
Just go out there, have fun. Yeah. So I had that, and I went and I had a really good set, and people came up to me after and like gave me like props all over, and
hell yeah.
So that like it gave me my little like, oh, okay,
little boost. It's like,
it's okay.
Yeah.
So
everybody has hard mics. It's not you, you know, it's just the fucking situation. It's everything all at once.
And then I did find out that specific open mic that I went to that was like so bad. They actually it's for like it's for like actors that take comedy classes.
So... they had no idea what to do with your shit. They're like, whoa, who's this? This is not from 101.
We never learned that.
It's not in Judy Carter's Comedy Bible.
Yeah, exactly.
Show your cooter and eat a taquito? What? That is not what I was expecting.
Yeah, they're like, lighter.
Yeah. I thought this was 5 minutes. Oh, you got it. You've already been.
No, really. So yeah, it's always like so wild, just kind of figuring out what mics you like, what mics you don't. And then I have also just been consistently writing, whether it's journaling or writing jokes. I find that either one is good, and it makes me feel good, and it makes me feel sharper too.
100%. Yeah, I think journaling is super underrated. I haven't done it lately, but I have tons of just pages of nothing that I've written over the years, like just notebooks filled with the artist's way, 3 pages in the morning, handwritten, and it's like, I didn't get anywhere from this shit.
Yep.
The artist way is about staying in one place, then I don't know if I'm doing it right. But if you can get stuff out somehow, I think that's the main thing, so it doesn't just live in your head.
Yeah, 100%.
And so, well, that's that's great that you're like trying the different stuff and meeting the different people and all of that kind of thing. Like, and it takes time. I know people who are like, even when they moved to the Midwest or whatever, they're like, I didn't talk to anyone for a year. I just did mics and then went home and then eventually started being social, kind of a deal.
Yeah, and that's kind of, it's funny because when I very first started again, like when I very first started going back out to comedy or whatever, again, I was trying to just be like, not overly friendly, but I feel like I'm a pretty extroverted, friendly person anyway. So I was really just like being myself and trying to make conversation. Totally. But like, yeah, I was just getting kind of like weird vibes of like they didn't want to be talked to. So I just started kind of pulling back. And then once I started doing that, people started fucking coming up to me and talking to me. So I'm like, all right, dude, I'll play your game.
I'll be kind of more of a dick.
Yeah.
Oh, my good friend Albert, who lived in LA for a while, he's like, there's so many comics out here and they're so good and they're all young and
Yeah.
they're all attractive.
Yeah.
And it's like, what the fuck did I just get myself into? It's like, this sucks. I've had friends feel similarly to you. It's like, I don't know if this place is for me, or I don't know if comedy's even for me when they move to LA. And so what a sad
Wow.
thing. What a sad thing that it does that to people. But also, what is it? You know, iron sharpens iron or something like this. You know what I mean? It's like, you got to go through the shit. You got to go through it all.
That's kind of like the realization that I've been coming to as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Working with your therapist. Is your therapist helping?
Yes.
Yeah.
She is so great. I've been seeing her for like maybe 2 years, year and a half, 2 years.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
How did that work moving from state to state? You still are able to maintain the same person. That's big. That's great.
It's very big and it's very great. And I didn't know it might not be legal.
Okay, well, I won't tell anyone.
No details.
Yeah.
But we
Sorry.
figured it out.
Good,
We got it
good,
worked
good.
out.
Yeah, I love it.
So I see her on Zoom.
Shouldn't have asked. Sorry. I can edit this. Next week, you're like, Rudy, I can't talk to my therapist anymore. I'm like, oh, shit. Did I?
No.
Sorry. I didn't mean to ruin half your life.
No, I don't think that'll be anything. We didn't say
Yeah.
her name.
Yeah, no. Teresa.
Yeah.
How's your cat?
Oh, she's doing good. She's taking a little nap on the windowsill there.
There she is,
There
Abe.
she is.
Hi, sweet girl.
She is such a sweet girl.
That's got to be such a help, too, when you move, right? To have a cat, have a pet with you.
I feel that her and I have grown so much together.
Uh-huh.
And with my other cat, Charlie, I feel like I was very like young when I got him.
Mhm.
And when he started like getting sick, I was pretty deep in my alcoholism. And so I don't know. I feel like there was just a lot of stuff that I kind of missed out on emotionally with him, like connection wise, that I am getting with Abra. And so it's very sweet.
Yeah.
And I love the hell out, like, oh God, I just want to like.
I know. I've brought in cats back into the act recently, and like more like cats is one of my first bits. You know, it's in the first chunk, and it just feels so good. You know,
Really
it feels good to be able to. It's like, okay, what is alive for me? And it's cats. You know, is up there. So it's like, how can I bring what's alive with me and my cats to life on stage to strangers who may or may not like cats, right?
Yeah.
It's all
Funny.
translation. Quite honestly, it's like, how can I make this little thing in my head go out of my face hole
Mhm.
and into your head hole in a way that hits your heart hole?
Yeah. And back out of your mouth hole.
Yeah. And that's the magic alchemy of comedy, quite honestly, because
That's actually so beautiful, Rudy.
it's just in the ether from our little dumb neurons in our heads and our love of or whatever it is. It feels so nice to be around people who feel like they understand where you're coming from. And I think that's the addictive part of comedy, right?
To be understood is so like fulfilling in this like very spiritual and like intellectual level, and then doing it with laughing.
I get to do that?
And then you get to laugh about, like, it's
Oh
so
my gosh.
mind-blowing and so like magic. It's absolute magic.
So what I'm trying to do is teach classes at the Y. I want to teach group fitness classes and then just like crack jokes for an hour and do like comedy while we're doing workouts. And then by the end of 45 minutes, you're just laughed and worked out and you feel great. And it's like,
Stop it.
doesn't that sound amazing?
That sounds like dopamine heaven.
Exactly. It sounds like, oh my gosh, I really am excited to like continue forward in this area that I had. Comedy and health don't always go together. And I feel like my health was always like a dirty little secret. You know what I mean? Like some people's
Like a
dirty little
secret,
secret
bro.
is like, oh, I stick corn cobs up my butt. And if anybody knew, I'd be out of the scene forever. For me, that was bench press. Or whatever. You know, it's like, but now I go to work and people are like, yeah, squats or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And so it's so nice to be around the same vibes of stuff that you love. And so that's why it's so great to hear you being like, well, you know, I really love flowers, and that's a new way to be creative and feel connected with nature and others and beauty. And those are things that are
And
important to
love.
you. And love. Exactly.
I just want love in my life. I think that that's
Right.
been the most like or like the biggest thing that just keeps coming up for me the last like 6 months is just really wanting to like look around and just see love like every place that I am.
Well, you left Oregon and the hallucinogenics behind. So.
I still got some in my drawer.
Oh yeah, they exist. They exist all over the place. But it's so true. And I feel like when people are like working to climb any kind of ladder, like goals are two double-edged sword. You know, it's like both great to have things to work for and can also be a drag when you let them overtake your life if you're working too hard on them. Because I'm kind of sick today, and I'm like, oh shit, I've been doing the things that I like doing too much.
Yeah, your body needing the rest.
Yeah, totally. Like I was like worried today waking when I went to bed last night. I was like, oh shit, I hope I'm not like so sick that having a conversation is going to feel like a chore. And I woke up moving in the right direction. Maybe it's allergies too. That's fucking Oregon.
Yeah,
That's the part of Oregon.
especially right now. And you're in Eugene. You're in pollen caps, baby.
Yeah. And the sucky thing, the rude thing is that you don't know what years it's going to hit you. Like sometimes it might
so
get you
true.
big time and other times it might not. Maybe it's like a tree 2 houses down that you're just totally allergic to and the wind never brings it your way.
Yeah.
Whatever. I don't know. I'm just like,
You
oh
could
my God.
test every single thing outside
Yeah.
and see where it's coming from.
Yeah. Just lick it, put it in my nose. Yeah. A little boof.
Lick it. Stick your tongue out.
Have you ever kissed someone and they have like a darty tongue and you're like, ew, how did you learn to kiss like or just at all? And you're like, ugh.
Did you say a darty tongue?
Like a lizard. Like I remember making out with one person and their tongue was like long and hard and I'm like, what is going on in your mouth? It's like thin and wiry.
I did recently I shared a kiss with someone whose tongue was like dry and it was fucking monstrous. It was
weird.
so disgusting. And it's like, hello, drink some water first. You have to wet it with
person.
anything.
Yeah, get it wet first, you psychopath.
And you know what else about that guy? He lied about his height. He said to me that he was 5'8", and guess what? I'm 5'2", and I was slightly looking down.
No.
Slightly.
Oof.
But yes, and then he sat down and his legs were dangling.
He was like a toddler. You're like, you're going to the nice posh French restaurant. He's like, I'll have the noodles, please.
No cheese, just butter.
Yeah.
I was like, oh hell no, we are not doing anything.
Oh my gosh. How has dating been? Have you dated at all?
I have dated down here, and it's like it's like the same as the Pacific Northwest,
Yeah.
except for there's so many more people.
Yeah.
But it's all the same. I mean,
Yeah.
like people dudes especially are just like, I find that the men down here are a lot less shameless, like much more bold as far as like initiating conversation or whatever, but they're also like not very like socially intelligent, like very like
a lot of dum-dums.
Lot of dum-dums. yeah. Like, oh, you're kind of like dumb. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's kind of dating. It's hard. Dating is hard no matter where you are
It's
and
hard.
at what point you're at. It's
Yeah, I've kind of just at this point, like I'm on the apps and stuff, but I am very much just taking it as a form of entertainment and a way to kind of just like honestly practicing my jokes on. That is really fun.
Bad. That's all right.
And like I don't know, like roasting them or something if they're being gross or like, you know, it's just a tool, I guess.
Right. It totally is. Yeah. I got off the apps recently for the first time in a while just because.
Congrats.
Yeah, I was like, this doesn't help. Like, me and this girl, I started with a joke, nailed it. We were going back and forth. Like, you'd see the dots and respond. And that never happens on Tinder. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then, like, I must have asked her out in too forward of a manner, like, after 6 or 7 back and forths. And when I looked back at the app later, she'd unmatched. And I'm like, what am I?
No.
Why?
That I had something similar where a person matched me. They initiated contact and said like 11 out of 10 would take you to brunch the next day or whatever.
Nice
and I
opener.
was like,
solid opener.
I was like, that's so sweet of you to say.
Very nice. Yes.
And I said, are you getting sweet or savory? Brunch.
Yeah.
And then they unmatched.
Right, exactly. Sometimes you try a joke that they just are like, you're gross. I thought we were having fun. And it's like, no, it was still fun. I didn't mean. I think, well, here's what I said. Because we were talking about snacks, and I said I usually do have a bit of protein in my pocket.
That's hilarious.
It's so hilarious.
Like a Slim Jim is what I thought. Like a beef jerky.
Yeah, something like that's the joke. That's but I think it was just like, oh, this old man is disgusting.
She was probably dumb and didn't get it.
Well, it's fine. It's just what it is. You don't also know where people are coming from. It's impossible to tell. And sense of humor on an app is ridiculous to try to like get in line with each other.
Yeah, and that's the thing too is like, Rudy, wow, the amount of times it's happened maybe like 3 times now where I've been text fished, where the texting conversation, let me explain. The texting conversation is so fun and it's like flirty and it's good and it's cute and it's funny. But then like meeting in person, it's like, were you the person texting me? Because you're kind of not how I imagined.
Yeah, this isn't you at all, or what I thought.
So weird.
I think it's just people not knowing how to be real people and only living on their phones and computers their whole life. You know, we're 9 years apart, and it's like, even sometimes, you know, if you try to date more than 10 years out of your age range, you're in for a weird dinner or whatever.
Yeah.
It's just like, ooh, this person and I are different.
Yeah.
So I think of that old South Park episode when they were out of internet, and then like these 2 kids who were like in love on the internet met in person, didn't say a word, and they're like, I'll see you online or left.
That's so funny.
Yeah. So I would just use it to kind of flirt sometimes. That's how I kind of tended to use it. And if you go on a date with somebody once in a while, great. But
Yeah.
whatever. Like it's just like I've got enough stuff going on, and dating is hard, and people want a lot. People want a lot from you.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so-
People, yeah. There was there was one guy that, my bad, I did take a nap and I slept through the date that we were supposed to meet.
Yeah.
But it's not like I was like, oh, like, yeah, I'll be there in 5 minutes and
Yeah.
like didn't show up. You know what I mean? So anyway, my bad. And the guy like messaged me again the next day and he was like, so do you usually just make plans with someone and then like leave them hanging when you knew that they were going to be excited to meet? It just went on like a
It was
huge
like a
paragraph.
lot.
And
Yeah.
I was like, honestly, not typically no, but I do like apologize. And I know that it was like shady and
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And then it didn't stop there. And he just kept going. And I was like, this is actually insane. And I'm so happy that I did not go on a date with you. So
Yeah.
now I
Yeah.
kind of like canceling the first date.
Okay. That's one of your tests.
I'm like, are you going to act like an asshole?
Right. Can you roll with the punches? And to be honest, if I had a date tell me, well, I guess you didn't tell them that you were canceling, but
Yeah.
if I get dates canceled on me, I don't really mind.
Yeah,
It's kind of okay.
if
I
I
got a
get
couple hours.
ghosted, I don't like, it's kind of like, oh, well, that sucks, but it doesn't like ruin my day. It doesn't, I'm not
Yeah.
like thinking about, I'm not going to text them a long paragraph when I
Good.
don't even know them.
Yeah, right. People are weird. I don't think communication is taught thoroughly enough to us humans. I think kids today are high school. Like I was talking with Seth's son about like some of the stuff he's learning. I forget what it was, but he was talking about like communication methods that he was learning in class. And I'm like, this is amazing. Good job, school system.
Yeah, that's really good. Yeah, I wish I would have had any of that.
Right?
I
Totally.
had no tools.
None. Yeah. And then they're like, here, go be a writer.
yeah. Make up
Yeah.
something.
Yeah. Just make it up. We can always lie. That was the communication that I think a lot of people were brought up with. You can always lie.
Yeah. As long as it's a small enough lie.
Yeah. It doesn't have to change the world. So you've moved to LA. We were in that over an hour mark. And I kind of like to start to wrap up the show by asking, what do you wish that you had known when you started comedy? Or like, if you could talk to young Sabrina, just starting her comedy jazz business, what would you like her to hold on to? What would you like for her to take to heart?
I feel like I still have trouble following this advice as myself, like my present self now, but I think that it's something that I'm always, always, always reminding myself and like taking a step back with is like not comparing yourself to other people. Do not compare. Don't look at other people's stuff if it's gonna like, if it incites like a weird feeling inside of you that isn't excited for the person posting it, then maybe just like avoid and focus on what you're doing, because I feel like I fell really hard into that trap, especially when I very first started, like a year in, it just breeds like self-doubt and feeling that like imposter syndrome of like, oh, like maybe I shouldn't even be doing this, or like this person's better, or it even brings up like ugly feelings of like resentment and like getting mad at this other person for having opportunities that you think you should have for whatever reason. And that like it like feels ugly inside. And and so yeah, I think that is what young Sabrina should know.
Yeah. Yeah, and especially for someone like you who wants to see love, you know, and feel love and have that be such a part of your life. That's super important. And it's hard, and it can be hard to do that with social fucking media.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
I think that, yeah, when I had gotten here and I had that like month and a half where I wasn't doing comedy and was just like kind of sad, I was on social media so much, and then I stopped, and then wow, what do you know, I started feeling so much better.
Yeah.
So yeah, taking those breaks, I think that's probably another thing too, is just like taking breaks when you need to, and taking breaks from comedy when like you really just don't feel like doing it. Like, don't force yourself to go, because it's not going to be fun.
Yeah. That's true. That's something that I've learned a bit more lately as well. I'm trying not to beat myself up over like not going to every mic that I can go to or whatever, because it's like I'm tired. You know, I'm really working on managing my energy as best as I can. And sometimes the 2-hour dedication to a mic and the drive and the prep and the wind down, it becomes a lot more than 2 hours sometimes. And it's maybe hard to, you have a weird interaction. It's hard to go to sleep, and you got to work the next day, or you got a thing to do. And so just holding these things with more kindness, you know, and just trying not to be so judgmental of myself.
Yes.
Has been super helpful lately. It doesn't always work, but that's what I'm trying for. You know?
Yeah. How do you do that for yourself? Like, how does not looking judgmental look for you?
Part of it is preparation and planning, like looking over a week, kind of at a bigger picture standpoint, like saying, okay, I have to prepare for, you know, 2 shows and these, you know, 3 nights coming up. And so it's like, how can I prepare for that and do all the things I need to do beforehand so I feel confident going into those. And sometimes it might involve going to a mic and trying out a thing, getting it back on its feet, or sometimes it might not, because I need to sleep, because I know I'm going to be a much better comedian if I get an 8 hours night sleep, as opposed to if I went to a mic on Wednesday for 4 minutes that nobody listened to. Right?
That pisses me off. Yeah.
And it's like, so when I, you know, and just taking mics for what they are. They're just mics. They're opportunities to try a little bit. Nothing big is going to happen if you do or don't go. And that's okay. I want to go when I can, and when it sounds fun to me. You know, does it sound fun to go? Do I have the energy to do that?
Yes.
Will it allow me to have a good day tomorrow? And those are I try to think about tomorrow. I try to think about future Rudy a little more, and try to learn from the stuff that I've done and had not regrets about, but felt sticky about. So just some of that, you know, being a little kinder, doing a little more planning, and being honest about what is needed or not.
Yeah. I like that a lot.
Yeah. Sabrina, it's so fun to talk to you. You always give me so many good juices.
Yeah, you too, Rudy. So happy.
Yeah, it's so great. And I really admire you for taking the leap and going down south and taking the leap and going down south.
Yeehaw, baby.
Oh yeah, ride 'em, cowgirl. It's seriously a huge thing, and like I said, I don't know if I could do it, so maybe someday or whatever, but it's awesome that you're going for it, and I'm always around if you ever want to chat.
Thanks, Rudy. So much fun, and you look so beautiful with your haircut.
Oh, thank you. Yes, it feels nice. It was time for a bit of a change. Doesn't it feel good when you chop something off? Ooh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So good. It was so nice to see you a couple weeks ago. What a delight. I didn't even know you were in town. And so
I
we
know,
got to
it
see
was
each
such
other
a
on a bike.
sneaky surprise.
Yeah. You little sneaker.
I know. But yeah, I'll be in Eugene also on the 9th and the 10th.
Oh, heck yeah. Nice.
So a couple weeks.
Rock on. I will be in Eugene too.
Okay.
Yay. My mom says hi. She says hi.
Aw, tell her hi. Give her a hug for me.
I definitely will. I for sure will. Well, stick around for just a minute after we finish up. But thanks again for stopping by. Is there any way that people can find you online, or is there anything you're looking to promote or anything at the moment?
You can follow me on Instagram at Sabs Laughs a Lot. It's inspired by Sir Mix-a-Lot, but it's Sabs, like me, Sabs, laughs a lot, because I do.
You're in my comedy special. You are definitely, there's a few pictures of you in there, and you definitely are part of the audience in there. I love it. I love it. It's so nice. You even have a line. You say, me?
Yeah. And you say no.
Yeah. It was nicer than that, but yeah, I said no.
It was quick, Rudy. It was a quick no.
Well, I know your name.
Oh, that's so funny. But yeah, that's and then I don't have anything to promote. I am doing a show in Paso Robles that I'm kind of excited about, May 29th.
Heck yeah.
It's like wine country. I don't know. I've never been there. But
cool. Is it what's the name of the place?
It's at a winery. I don't remember.
Paso Robles
I'll post
Winery.
it on my Instagram.
On the gram, baby. Love it.
But yeah, and Viva la Comedy.
Heck yeah. Viva la Comedy, ladies.
And health.
And health. Viva la health. Salud. Freaking lude. All right. You're such a joy, Sabrina. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'll see you soon, okay?
Okay, bye.
Ciao.
Jokes in the gym. Jokes in the gym. Not jokes in the gym. Jokes in the gym. Jokes in the gym. With Rudy Tibersi.
There was no sauce. It was dry.
Oh, it's a dry taquitos. Just
Usually...
raw dogging taquitos.